Hello everybody, Accureye here, and welcome back to another Overwatch Accureye's Tips 101 with Overwatch. So today we are going to be talking about Roadhog. So yeah, we are going to be talking about Roadhog and how to place him, all the tips you need to know, and what you need to know now about Roadhog. Now, Roadhog, of course, at least in my opinion, is not really a, well, I mean, some people don't consider him a tank. He does kind of have that more DPS-like feel to him. He does, have a little bit of that, that, like, deep, you gotta have a little more DPS or whatever. He just doesn't feel like a tank-based character, and the truth is he doesn't feel that way, and you can kind of tell that he isn't exactly a DPS type character. I mean, as you can see, Roadhog here, he has like 600 health and no real armor. He's one of the only few characters that have no actual armor, and I mean, I can see why there's some confusion to him not being really a DPS based character. He's not exactly a character that screams being a tank. But in honest truth, at least in my opinion, I do believe he is a bit of a tank, at least to some degree, because he does have one thing that makes him a tank, or at least a considerable tank. And the thing that he does that makes him a considerable tank is the fact that he is he absorbs damage like crazy. I mean, seriously, if you look at how, what Roadhog does, how Roadhog, plays, especially in the middle of a good team, Roadhog can be the focus of everyone. Like, almost everyone could focus on Roadhog. Almost everyone may end up focusing on Roadhog because he's just a DPS-based character. He has a load of DPS-type style, And, that's the reason why Roadhog, to me, is a bit of a DPS-type character. He is, a character that does have some DPS to him because, as I've said, like, as you'll see here, going forward, Roadhog does have some DPS to him. Some, to him that are, that makes him a little more, potentially a tank-based character. Now, Roadhog, of course, is not great on his own. You'll see that Roadhog is not, potentially good alone. He's not exactly like someone, he's not like most DPSs that can kind of handle themselves on their own, because, while his chain hook does create a bit of a roadblock or slowdown, that's kind of what, in my opinion, makes him a tank. It's the fact that, he can hook people, which slows down the battle, and he also has, his health, or his little stim pack healing, The other thing is he has two shots. One shot is like a spread shot, and it acts more like a shotgun. And the other is more like a single little cannon fire. But like I've said, I mean, Roadhog just, unfortunately, I understand how many people can maybe think of him more as a DPS type character. But in my opinion, honestly, he doesn't have the DPS style. He doesn't fit the certain DPS type characters because and mostly this is because of the fact that he just doesn't have that that style. He doesn't have that that little bit of potential to make him a DPS. He's just he's a very, what can you say, tank. He's a very big hybrid. He's kind of a hybrid tank slash DPSer because, I mean, he has such great health absorption. Like, that's kind of one of the things about him, and why I think he doesn't have armor is because he has a very, very big health absorption. He can absorb health like no tomorrow. He, in the right hands, especially if you time it correctly, he can slow down the battle, as you can see here, and then he can kind of just heal up and regain his health like crazy, as long as he's not like under pressure of multiple people. And I think, that's where the confusion comes in, is the fact that, many of us believe that, he's just a DPS type character because he has no real, he's all damage and he has no real tank-like abilities. But the truth is, a very good DPS or tank type like Roadhog, a very good Roadhog can just there's no way in heck you'll be able to take him on solo, because he just absorbs health like no tomorrow. And a good well-timed Roadhog can pretty much get out of the line of fire and pretty much just change positions to make it to where you're focusing on them. You're focusing on them there, or you're going to this one area to try and focus on them. And of course, like I said, that grappling hook is so devastating, and it can really just immediately slow down the battle. Like, a well-timed hook can slow down the battle on someone, and it basically does allow Roadhog to pretty much, allow a slowdown or a little bit of a chance for your team or him to just kind of slow down the pace, tank some damage, give some time away to, to the team. So, and that's the thing about Roadhog, and why I believe Roadhog is such a, at least in my opinion, why he does belong at least somewhat in the tank-like position. He does belong as a bit of a tank, is because he does have those those moments, those sparks where he is pretty much going to wreck house if he can, and I mean, you'll see it here that in sometimes when you got a bad team or a team that just doesn't perform well, Roadhog is not going to do very good. I mean, he doesn't perform well if he doesn't have backup. Much like any tank, he doesn't perform well if he doesn't have any backup. And you'll see it here that, that he doesn't have all the, he does have all those, abilities to just be known as the DPS. And I think that's why it makes sense that he does fall into a bit of the tank position over the DPS position, because, he really does, he's one of those tanks that slow down the battle. He may not be a tank that absorbs damage. He may not be a tank that completely, that completely just, takes the, takes the cake on being all, all about, just, helping the full team. He's a tank that slows down the battle, kind of like Diva. Kind of like Deva. If you all know, Deva, Deva, she's very much in your face. She's very much of a character that kind of goes in your face and directly, if you will, gets in the element of kind of being in your face, being that character who just goes yeah, I'm right here. I'm going to slow you down. I want you to focus on me. And I mean, at the end of the day, that is exactly what Roadhog does. Roadhog is very much, that character who kind of is hey, over here. I'm right here. I'm right here, bud. Come get me, Come get me. I'm right here, take me down, And, that's why I find that Roadhog, he doesn't really fit the so-called, ability of being a DPSer, being the being the character that you think of when it comes down to when it comes down to being that type of player. He's not he's not, as I've said before, he's not that character who who can just like convert damage or convert whatever it is. But overall, I mean, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Yeah, and that's why, I believe that he's not like, everyone else. He's not a DPSer like everyone thinks he is. Because there are a lot of people out there who believe Roadhog is a DPSer. Who they believe Roadhog is all about, about DPSing things. And, I mean, I understand that. But, you could see, like, especially going into the second match here. You'll see going into the second match here that Roadhog really does shine as a non-DPSer, as a non-DPS type. He is that character who given enough time, given enough opportunity, he does shine as a non-DPS type character, and you'll see it here. But you'll also see that Roadhog is terrible alone. He just cannot do things alone. He's just absolutely like bad, And that's really unfortunate that Roadhog doesn't have a a time to shine as a normally used tank. Like most of the normally used tanks you'll see are Reinhardt, and characters like that. But Deva, because of course she's kind of that character who can just like say on me, and yeah. So anyway, I mean, as I've said before, like, the reason I like Roadhog as a tank, and I believe he is a tank, is just because, as I've said before, Roadhog does have the ability to shine. He does have that, that so-called, way of shining and being able to say, hey, look, I'm going to slow down the battle. If you all are watching my back, if you got me, I've got you. And that's exactly what Reinhardt does. Is he's kind of like that sponge. He's kind of like that, if you will, cushion. That little cushion that you wanna have on your side, on being able to help you or whatever. That's exactly what Roadhog is going to do. Roadhog is basically going to be like, if you need a little bit of a cushion, if you need someone to help you out, if you need someone to basically be there to, give you some backup, as long as you got my back, I've got yours, basically, And I feel that that's where Roadhog really does shine. That's why Roadhog really does work as a tank, is because, with a good team, Roadhog shines like a bright star. He is he's just not your normal tank. He's not your normal tank, though. The thing is, and where many people may make the mistake or may think, but Accureye, you're saying that Roadhog is really that great, but you're not telling me that, you're not, like, giving me, the fact that why I should believe that he didn't fall into he should have fallen, why he shouldn't have not fallen into the DPS thing. And, I mean, if you watch this battle closely, you'll see that when used correctly, with the hook and everything, Roadhog does slow down the battle. He does make it to where, like, no matter what happens, he's always going to be someone you gotta worry about to some degree. And I believe that's my point, is that, given enough time, given the fact that, many people don't pay attention to the fact that he is a tank, he does, like I've said, he does, actively slow down the battle. He does actively make it to where you are going to have to worry about him in some way or another. You're going to have to, think, oh my gosh, someone is going to be Roadhog, and they're going to literally I've got to watch out for them, because if I'm Bastion, they can counter me by slowing me down. They can push me back if I'm trying to charge the battlefield. They can absorb damage like the Dickens. They have no, there's almost no stopping them in some degree. For attacking and whatnot. And I think that's something that is important to realize when it comes down to Roadhog, is that he is unmatched in some of his abilities. Like, for his category and for what he does as far as being a tank, it's unmatched. Because, it's the way he is. It's how he, he reacts to, situation by situation, And, with that being said, I think that he is such a underutilized character. He's just such a character who pretty much you wouldn't have expected to come from, to come in from the game. But, overall, these were my tips, and you'll see the rest of this battle unfold, and, and you'll see how he is pretty much everything, in some ways he is everything that people kind of like from other tanks. Like, he's kind of the best of all of many situations that you'll run into in Overwatch, and I think that's the one reason he shines. That's the main reason he works in the tank position, is that, it's the slowdown factor, the factor of being able to adapt to any situation. Because, when you look at someone like Reinhardt, who we will talk about, Reinhardt, he's a great tank, but he can't adapt to many situations. There's only a few situations he can really adapt to, and it's in our situations, he's terrible at adapting to those situations. When you look at everyone's favorite tank, Deva, yes, she's a very adaptable tank, but she's more of the on-me character. The character who is focus on me. I want your eyes on me. I want you to attack me. I don't want you to focus on anyone else. And that's the thing about Deva, is that she can't adapt to being a sponge, if you will. And then you look at someone for instance, who's another tank? You look at another tank for instance, Zarya, who we will talk about. And again, another perfect example of someone who just can't, make the best of a situation. Who just can't really adapt to, working with everyone or working in situation-based combat. And that's why, in many ways, that's why Roadhog works as a tank. Roadhog works as a tank because, he's very adaptable. He can see a situation, and even as you saw there, that was a Junkrat bomb, and that Junkrat bomb barely phased me. Normally, for most things, that would have been oh crap, it's over. It's literally over. But as you can see there, for Roadhog, that was literally not even phasing him. That barely phased him. So, that's why, you'll see that there are many situations with Roadhog where it just works. It literally just works. Don't question it, because it just works. It literally is just working. It really just works out, And, that's why I find Roadhog to be such a great situation-based character. He's so good in tanking. You know, even though many people don't think of him as tank. But, yeah. So anyway, you know, these are my tips. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed the rest of this battle. These have been my tips. Hopefully they've helped you understand Roadhog a little more and maybe make you want to play him or try to play him because, yeah, he's such a great character. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm going to get close to ending this video as it is. So these were my tips. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, get subscribed, you know, hit the bell notification so you know when I drop the next video. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching this video. Enjoy the rest of this battle. And I will close out and, you know, as soon as we get near the end. But these were my tips. You know, already know. If you like this video, you already know. You know, hit that like button, get subscribed. You know, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Thank you everyone for joining me today on this video. And I will see you all on the next one. But until the next one, yeah, this is Accureye signing out and saying farewell, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the video, by the way. By the way, you enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you all on the next one, everybody. Bye. Farewell.